And God Daniel, oh what that dying. This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, we would only do that on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. My brother, my sister, we are in the service of God and country indeed. And here we have taken sides, the side of the truth. We are not neutral. My brother, my sister, this is the Earman Blend. And of course, the segment known as the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Today we have three very important issues to look at. Please come with me. Now the very first story we are looking at today says, and I read from Ghana Web, Mahama's resetting agenda proves his problem-solving acumen. And this is J.B. Danquah speaking. Now, who is J.B. Danquah? I read. Now, former New Patriotic Party parliamentary aspirant for Subing constituency, Joseph Boachi Danquah, has lauded President John Dramani Mahama for what he termed as a demonstrable commitment to put Ghana on a good footing just 6 months into his governance. Now, according to the politician and tax accountant, President Mahama has indicated that he wants to indeed solve problems. Sharing his thoughts on a wide range of issues bordering on Ghana politics, J.B. Danquah stated that he is impressed by the initiatives of the NDC. And he is happy the NDC has rolled out all this since it took power in January 2025. He made these remarks in an exclusive interview with Ghana Web on June 21, 2025. As you rightly said, my name is Joseph Boachi Danquah, so definitely I belong to the J.B. Danquah tradition. But to me, Ghana comes first before any political party. I do not care what political party it is. If you are doing something good, I will praise you. If you are doing something bad, it doesn't matter which political party you belong to. I will condemn you. So far, with President Mahama, I think he's doing very well. Now, these days, we sound almost like a broken record when we talk about the achievements of John Dramani Mahama. Just a few months in power. I would like to continue to applaud the president. In fact, now as it stands, everybody, including the die-hard critics of the president, they have been put to total shame, especially those who criticize subjectively. Now, the dollar is at the mercy of the Ghana cedi, comparatively. At the same time, my brother, my sister, the economy seems to be doing very well. As it stands right now, some criminals who drew Ghana down and into the doldrums are being chased left, right, and center. This is a strong commitment to fighting crime and disorderliness. My brother, my sister, what is left to see is the fight against Galamsey. Is to be able to make Ghana that patriotic that every Ghanaian will stand by Ghana and vouch for Ghana even in very difficult times. That is what I am waiting to see. Everyone who has been able to put himself on the map, my brother, my sister, for his country, and has been remembered several years after he is gone, is the fact that they've been able to impact their countries patriotically. I am glad J.B. Danquah here has made it clear that he is not a member of the NDC. He's nowhere close to the NDC. And by his name, he's supposed to belong to a certain political fraternity. My brother, my sister, that disappointed Ghana with 8 years of thievery and corruption. Nana Akufo-Addo will go down in history as the lousiest president this nation has ever had. His vice president, Bawumia, would also go down in history as the careless political comedian that he has been, telling lies unprovokedly. My brother, my sister, as it stands right now, for JB Danquah, I remember him so much for leading some NPP MPs in parliament to fight against the lousy performing Ken Oforiatta. Ken must go. He was one of the leaders. He spoke his mind against Nana Addo Danquah Akufo-Addo's government. How he said that the man was so vindictive. How the man would go all ends to pull you down because you do not support him. My brother, my sister. And he said one thing that touched my heart. What did he say? He said that it doesn't matter which political party is in power. It doesn't matter what fraternity you belong to. In fact, political fraternity. As long as you are doing well, he will laud you. As long as you're doing well, he will applaud you. My brother, my sister, I want to doff my heart for this gentleman. I've tried to get him on this show for an interview, but he's been quite elusive. At the right time, I believe, he would make time, so we'll sit down and jaw. In the interim, I want to also say, all those who are busily, partisanly, and subjectively criticizing this government, your day is coming. I am a critic, and I like it when people criticize objectively. But it looks like a lot of our brethren are only criticizing for their stomachs so they can feed these stomachs. At this point, I doff my heart and I say thank you so much, JB Danquah. Continue to be non-partisan like this and continue to be, above all, patriotic. See Ghana and put Ghana first. Now the next thing I want to look at is this one, also taken from Ghana Web, and it says, don't rush to elect flag bearer. Resolve internal issues first. And this is Agyapong speaking to the NPP. And I read, former member of parliament for Asin Central, Agyapong, has advised the leadership of the new patriotic party to first resolve the party's internal issues before rushing to elect a new presidential candidate. Addressing a gathering of NPP constituency chairmen on Saturday, June 21, 2025, he expressed concern over the party's failure to conduct a thorough introspection following the defeat in the 2024 general elections. We don't know the causes of our defeat. So what message are we going to give when we start campaigning again? If we don't solve these problems, you can bring Jesus Christ as your presidential candidate and we will still won't win. We still won't win. I am telling you the truth, he noted. Agyapong criticized what he described as a hasty approach by the party to move ahead with internal elections without understanding the root causes of its electoral loss. According to him, failing to address the underlying issues would wholly result in repeated mistakes and deepen divisions within the party. He cautioned that the belief that a newly elected presidential candidate alone can resolve the party's problems is misguided. If you think electing a flag bearer will automatically fix everything, then you are joking. It's a collective effort. The party must agree on what went wrong and collectively commit to solutions. Wow! Just wow! Listen to Agyapong speaking such wisdom. Most of the time when Agyapong speaks, it's just vituperations. most of the time when Kennedy Agyapong speaks, it's just anger tantrums. My brother, my sister, listen to the wisdom of Solomon. In fact, this is the new King Solomon of this dirty party that I don't support. My brother, my sister, 8 years in power, and all they did and succeeded in doing, wanton corruption, disregard for patriotism, foolishness, and much more. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Listen to the wisdom. If somebody had said Kennedy Agyapong would be this wise, I would say no, sir. Most of the time when this man speaks, it is just tantrums and vituperations, my brother. Anger, nothing more. Bitterness. Listen to the wisdom. Hey, a party has lost. They had access to all the taxpayers' money at the time of election. They drew this nation into political doldrums. In fact, economic disaster. They lost the elections, and up till now, some of the hypocrites in the party claim they are shell-shocked from the defeat. In fact, the margin of the defeat, including people like Gabriel Sarochidako. Chameleons, they change color every time. Ostriches, very irresponsible liars. Your party performed so abysmally. Ghanaians complained from the bottom of their hearts. Your arrogant president refused to listen to them. He became the newly crowned Napoleon Bonaparte, gallivanting left, right, and center in his plumes of arrogance, commanding kings and chiefs to stand up and herald his coming as the second coming of Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. He carried a magic chair, left, right, and center, my brother, my sister. He slept like a chameleon. Every second, he didn't care what happened. He signed careless contracts. My brother, my sister, today, we don't even want to remember the dwarf that became our president. Next time we see another dwarf, his age, my brother, my sister, we will make sure that we relegate him where he belongs, the hottest part of hell. Kennedy Agyapong is saying simply, after they decided to contract a certain committee, or is it a commission, my brother, my sister, to research into the defeat, the Mike Okwe Senior Committee, what did it come out with? Or was it a commission? What exactly did they come out with? I am told not even Nana Addo Danquah Akufo-Addo has seen the report. Maybe it's only Baumia who has seen it, because they probably were those who commissioned Michael Quay Sr. to deal with this. Kennedy Agyapong hasn't seen it. Akufo-Addo hasn't seen it. The public hasn't seen it, because they have turned the party into an occultic movement where they suck human blood and drink animal blood. My brother, my sister, it's unto them. Kennedy Agyapong has said it clearly. Please, can we look into the internal distractions of the party? Can we try to solve some of these problems at least before we elect somebody? How about if we elect somebody and it comes out that that somebody was the cause of our defeat? How about if we elect somebody and it comes out that, in fact, circumstances and characteristics of these people that we elect culminated into our defeat? So are you telling me that all the members of the NPP, nobody is as wise as this man that they claim is stupid? That he says nothing but things that don't make sense? Listen to the wisdom of this man. My brother, my sister, how can you solve a problem when you don't know what the problem is? Kennedy Agyapong says, listen, until we do this, we can bring Jesus Christ and no solution would be at hand. I want to applaud Kennedy Agyapong. When you read some other articles, and news items, he says that they are provoking him to become that person that everybody knows him for. Vituperative exuberance. My brother, my sister, this is Kennedy Agyapong. I applaud you. I don't doubt that you'll be the next flag bearer. As for Bawumia, they are giving him full respect. They want his money to chop. They will chop the money too, like they chopped it during the last elections. He hasn't become smart enough to know that they don't like him. How can you elect a liar? How can you elect a man who has lost all credibility? All he can say is grammar. Kennedy, I applaud you. Sometimes I'm your fan. Sometimes you are my fan. Other times we disagree to disagree. On this one, I agree with you. And I will support you any day against Bawumia. And I started this support from Titi. As for Bawumia, Dabida, never. He doesn't even have the effrontery, in quotes. He doesn't even have the courtesy to apologize to Ghanaians for misleading us with his lies and Don Quixotic attitude. I leave it here. Now the next story I quickly want to look at, and looks like I have just 5 minutes to quit. All right? This one is coming from Ghana Web, and it says, insinuating I try to influence you is unfair. And this is Professor Gyampo clarifying interaction with OSP. Now before this, let's look at what the OSP said to warrant this from Professor Gyampo. And here we go. From Ghana Web, it says, Kisi Agyapong replies Professor Gyampo over recent comment on Oforiatta investigations. Now, the special prosecutor Kisi Agyapong has responded to Professor Ransford Gyampo's statements, expressing hope that he, Agyapong, is not being driven by a personal vendetta in the ongoing investigation of former Finance Minister Kenneth Oforiatta. Now, in a strongly worded statement shared on the OSP's official X account on June 22, that's yesterday, 2025, Kisi Agyapong cautioned the acting chief executive of the Ghana Shippers Authority and other appointees to refrain from any form of inferences regarding the investigation of former Minister of Finance Kenneth Oforiatta. He emphasized that the former minister is currently undergoing investigation on allegations of corruption and corruption-related offenses. Now, the attention of the Office of the Special Prosecutor has been drawn to a comment by the acting Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Ransford Gyampo, PhD, suggesting that the OSP's investigation of suspect Kenneth Nanaya Oforiatta is born out of personal vendetta. The OSP wishes to place on record that its actions involving the former finance minister are based on stated allegations of corruption and corruption-related offenses, particularly abuse of office for profit, including a multiple-year contract awarded to Strategic Mobilization Limited, he stated. The OSP added that though it welcomes criticisms of his work, public officials should refrain from interfering, whether directly or through unfounded public statements on ongoing investigations. All right, so let's look at Ransford Gyampo's response. Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Professor Ransford Gyampo, has dismissed claims made by the Office of the Special Prosecutor regarding his alleged interference during a raid of Strategic Mobilization Limited. In a Facebook post dated June 23, 2025, Professor Gyampo rejected assertions by the Office of the Special Prosecutor that he had contacted his office whilst officers were conducting a lawful search of SML premises in collaboration with National Security. Kisi, I didn't call your office. I called you, and we never spoke on phone because you said you couldn't speak and that you were going to call back. I texted you just to caution you not to cause financial loss to the state even as you go about your investigations, which I fully favor. Given that I have heard from across the political divide about your possible intentions, I only expressed the hope that your intentions are patriotic and not personal. That's all. But he bit by the bit that talks about me calling your office and insinuating that perhaps I call to ask you to do something untoward is unfair and makes me then doubt your intentions the more. I personally think that Professor Ransford Gyampo is a pampered little boy. Pampered little boy. So who does Professor Ransford Gyampo think he is? Who is he? You are a citizen of Ghana. Fair enough. Galamsey issues. You talked about this over and over. You are now in power as an appointee of the President of the Republic. I'm glad you are the acting head. You have not been confirmed yet. I want to believe the President intentionally made you an acting whoever, so that when it is time, you can be relegated to the university one more time. My mother, my sister, what is your relationship with Kissie Agyapong? What is your relationship with Ken Oforiatta? Do you have any interest in SML? These are questions that we need answers for, and we need a forensic investigation into the actions of Ransford Gyampo. Kissie Agyapong was brought into office by the NPP. He fell out with the NPP. In fact, I critiqued Kissie Agyapong seriously when he started becoming very, what is the word? Much of a spendthrift. He wanted this, he wanted that, bulletproof this, bulletproof that, causing financial hemorrhage to the already sick economy. He said his life was under serious threat. My brother, my sister, I've had my time with Kissie Agyapong. But my brother, a new party is in power, and I've seen it wise to return a man that was brought in by a government that caused so much pain to us for 8 solid years. It means that they have seen something qualitative with this guy. Kissie Agyapong is doing his investigations. All of a sudden, one pampered boy called Ransford Gyampo decides to send a message to Kissie Agyapong after calling him. I do not have the words of the SMS or the WhatsApp message, whatever it was, but as we are told, he said, be careful that you do not cause financial whatever to the state by following a personal vendetta. My brother, my sister, what does it mean? If somebody is going for a race and all you can tell him is that be careful you don't lose, what the hell are you talking about? What the heck are you talking about? Somebody is going for a race. If you cannot encourage the person to win, don't encourage him to lose. This is how the pampered boy, Ransford Gyampo, is behaving. And I am angry. I am angry. I said, if somebody is running a race, if you cannot encourage him to win, please don't encourage him to lose. And I gave you that example, clear example. Listen, if somebody's running a race and you go to him and say, hey, Akwala, You want to talk to him and he says, oh, Debbie, I want to concentrate on the race. Then quickly, you whisper into his ears by force. Make sure you don't lose. Hey, babe. Abada. Why then? Let's be careful. Ransford Gyampo is all of a sudden behaving like some demigod. And it's time to cut him to size. Or else, very soon, he's going to, in fact, lead us into some Armageddon. It's not good. The way you speak your mind is the same way we speak our mind. When you do the right things and we think that we can align, we would come and praise you. We'll come and say good things about you. But if you go the other way, with all respect, we will come after you. To Agyapong, please. I tell you something interesting that happened the other day. I was driving with my producer on the road, and my producer all of a sudden said, oh, in fact, we saw some policemen in front of a certain house. I've forgotten the area. Maybe my producer would have to whisper to me what area that was, you know? Roman Ridge, okay. Roman Ridge area there, right? And then it was raining, I think. And then I saw some policemen. And then he said, hey, this is Ibrahim Mahama's house. I said, one of his houses, because I know he has one at Kaokudi. I said, oh, I haven't seen this man in a long while. The fact that policemen are around, maybe he's around. Let me just go in and say hi. So I went in with my producer. And I said, is the big man around? The policeman said, okay, yeah, he's around. Let's talk to him that you are around. They went in, and I was expecting that they'll come back and tell me he's not there because Ibrahim Mahama is always busy. I met him only once all my life. But he came out and said, oh, he's around, and he says, come in. Interesting. I went in there and sat down quietly. This was about 4 or 5 months ago, right? I sat down, and I was waiting for Ibrahim Mahama to come. But I didn't see Ibrahim Mahama's photograph there. I saw Agyapong and some other people around. Then I looked in a corner and saw Agyapong sitting in a corner. I told myself, Agyapong has come to see Ibrahim Mahama. All of a sudden, the receptionist came in, whoever it was, and said, oh, the big man says come in. When I went, it was Agyapong was sitting there. I couldn't tell him, oh, I was told this was Ibrahim Mahama's house. So I wanted to actually see Ibrahim Mahama. I kept quiet. Then he took me through a few things. Said, Blakk Rasta, it's good that you came. The other day you said this, we spoke nicely, told me a lot of things. I said, well, I hear you. Now that I can reach out to you, anytime I need some clarity, I will get to you. From that time till now, I have it. My brother, allow the man to do his work. I'm sure if it was Ransford Gyampo who was there, he wouldn't like this kind of, well, you might decide to call it interference. I don't see it as interference. It is disillusion.